Ford got it right this time. Snow was forecasted, and it has made its presence felt here at Commanders Field in Landover, Maryland. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Oregon. And a short pickup to about the 25. From the .25, here's 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Irving. And he'll fight forward to... the 27-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Mayfield. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bucs first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
A first carry for Rachaad White. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
Play fake. Mayfield. He'll find his tight end, Payne Durham. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
The Commanders' offense returning to the field. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. Still going inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., 52 yards. And the Commanders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Here is 3rd and 5. Mayfield going to switch things up here. They'll set up to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He completes it to Evans. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He'll get that out to the flat to White. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that will bring up 2nd down. Now back to the ground game with White. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 48 yards for Rachaad White. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and taking it right down Broadway. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Commanders are going to have it here just past the 25.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and, you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute. But did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it. And afterwards, they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
Now a 2nd and 2. Robinson with another carry.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Here's Daniels. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Daniels.
This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 29-yard line.
Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Daniels now on 1st and 10.
It's complete to Brown, right side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
2nd down and a run by Robinson.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Daniels.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
To the air goes Daniels. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Bates.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Robinson.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Robinson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. So what a first half that he has had running the football. That now 3 touchdown runs.
And I would anticipate that when they get down in the red zone, He's going to get more chances as this game goes on, and I think that the guys blocking for him are going to ask for him to get more chances. They like the rhythm they've developed.
And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2. Daniels going to try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Mayfield down. And this is caught by Evans. Now he's free at the 35. And finally wrestled down at the 11. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
First down, here's White. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. They go with White on the counter. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. O'Keefe from 10 yards out. And the Bucs get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
This time the extra point up and good. And that trims the lead down to 9. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Boy, still a half plus to play, but it is a 2-score game. They're going to go onside kick early. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 178 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Daniels now to throw on first down. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. There he goes, left side. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. Well, time is of the essence. We breeze through halftime, and we are ready for the second half. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Levante David in on the tackle.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Now 2nd and 3. Again, it's Robinson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards there and a first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose, and the Buccaneers have it.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors. Into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Mayfield looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, the defense obviously could not have drawn up a better start to the second half. They're holding on to that slim lead, just looking for a stop. Not only do they get the stop, Charles, they get the pick 6.
Another example that life comes at you fast, doesn't it? One play ago, they're defending a slim lead coming out of the break. Now they're one more stop away from thinking about a possible put-away drive.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll let Robinson try and run. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upset. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. To throw, Mayfield. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this. Series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. How about this? They'll change it at the line. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. Rolling to his right. And he gives himself up, but not before he gets the conversion. They'll go up the middle with White. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down. Keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 35. Baker changing the play at the line. First down, Mayfield. And he's got his big tight end here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Buying time to his left. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Baker Mayfield, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And it's caught. He got it in the end zone. So instead of trying to get 1 point closer, they roll the dice on the fake and come up with 2. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the fourth. On second down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. This now a 3rd and 4. Daniels looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got this down to the 35. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Now here's a throw that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Ran the perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 226 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Robinson up the middle. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll run with Robinson, and he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. punching it in from a yard away. And the Commanders have extended their lead to 15 now here in the fourth. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
They'll try and throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Levante David.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Now Mayfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Mayfield off the play fake. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown.
Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Now the Washington offense back onto the field. They'll go for 2 here. To throw is Daniels. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Mike Evans of the Tampa offense about to set up shop. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense.
And that's caught at the 25. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Mayfield looks to throw. There's Evans again, complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And the Bucs are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Mayfield on play action. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Delivering a pass here to Evans on the out route. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. White diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. But still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure. But that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready. Because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. Down to the 10, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a 1-score game. And hold the phone now. This game isn't over yet.
Not at all. Now, get the football back. That's the first thing. However you do it, get the ball back and then manipulate the clock with your offense, because you've got to get the ball into the end zone.
They had to go for it with them. Timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and we have that in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Here comes an important one now for Austin Seibert. This to perhaps salt this one away. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game. A Things just got interesting. They try for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Baker. He finds his man complete. That's Evans. And that won't help much. Only a yard on first down. Mayfield to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
One last shot for Mayfield here. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they